So here we are today in my garage. I decided to actually do a video on this car that I own. I have never seen another one in person or on YouTube that is quite like mine. This is a 1938 Packard 12. It's model 1138, series 1607. We'll do a little walk through here in the garage, and then I'll fire it up and pull it outside so it can shine in the sunlight. I'm taking this video on my cell phone, so excuse me for all the jitteriness. Do the driver's side. .473 cubic inch V12, puts out about 175 horsepower. I'm going to start it up here, pull it outside. All the electronics in this car are all original. It is 6 volts. It is slow going. I have to find the keys first. There we go. Smooth running 12. Shut this off and do a walk around. So a little about this car. This car belonged to my grandfather, and when he passed away in 1996, the car was put in storage for about 13 years until I got my hands on it when I was 20 years old. And being young and dumb, I didn't know anything about old cars. I just put 10W40 motor oil in it, which has no zinc content in it. Put unleaded gasoline and proceeded to take it on a 70-mile round trip to Franklin, PA from Newcastle, which in the end ended up spinning all 12 rod bearings on the way home. So the engine has been rebuilt, the bottom end. Started that project in 2010, finished it in 2012. Myself and 2 close friends of mine, Wally Stearns and Merle Coupe, helped me with the engine rebuild. We built the whole bottom end without even removing the block from the car, because to take the engine out of this thing, you have to remove the front fenders, you have to remove the front grille radiator, all that good stuff, and yeah, really didn't feel like doing it that way. So with new connecting rods, connecting rod bearings, and modern pistons, it runs and drives like it did back in 1938. Here's a little bit of the interior. It has nice burled wood finishing. You have your heater and your Packard Deluxe AM radio, which still works. This lever right here, this is for your cowl. It's kind of like your old school air conditioning. It has two different positions. Every gauge works: fuel, oil pressure. That is just a clock delete. If you had a clock, your radio channels, your speedometer, your generator gauge, and your temperature gauge. Also has a pretty cool sounding horn. Next, I'll set up my display, and I will show you all how I display this car when I go to car shows. I have all of the original books from 1938, all of the original documentation. This car has had a frame-off restoration that a guy by the name of Robert E. Turnquist out of New Jersey, aka Packard Bob, did the full restoration on this car back in 1977 and 78. And then the car was painted by a man by the name of George Long in Mercer County in 1994. So right here is usually how you would see my car at a car show. Well, I'd have the hood up here. I usually have a nice big plaque in front that has all the specs, so people don't bombard me with questions. They can just go up and read it, but I still get bombarded with questions. You have your golf bag and clubs. And yes, they are not period correct for the era. Some Packard chassis lubricant, still has oil in it. And then some of my books. These are all original books for the Packard 12, the Packard 6, Packard 8. They are not reprints. Here are the, oh, get that to focus. Here are the keys. And the picture I always take, that little guy there, is me back in 1996 at the Ohio Grand Classic, where this car was judged at 98.5 out of 100 points, which was good enough for first place and to receive its CCCA Senior Award. In the back here you have your fitted luggage. Spare bulb kit, tire pressure gauge, accessory booklet that shows all your extra options you can get with your car, luggage. This is the color of the car, even though this is on a Packard 6 business coupe. Owner's manual and your data book. Right here is my first prize for the national competition at the Ohio Grand Classic. Why the car did not receive 100 points, I do not know. But then again, we drove it from Newcastle, Pennsylvania to Ohio. And there's a funny story about getting there and the problems that we had with the car, but that's for another time. One thing that is pretty rare to come by is this right here. This here is a can of film. And back in 1938, Packard would send these film cans to Packard dealerships so the dealers could preview all of Packard's models for 1938. I have never seen another one of these. I had a guy digitally remaster it so I can put it on a USB drive and actually view it on my computer. But there is film in there, and it's pretty neat to take a look of how they did advertising back in 1938. And that is all that I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.